stories don't tell or make themselves. So you have to get out there every day and make something of your life, make something of your day, and just keep yourself happy.
From social issues to personal growth, let's break down barriers and embrace possibilities. This is the youth talk show, Say Something with Mads, and we are just getting started. Today, we have Fariya Mariyam joining us from Warwick, London. She is a change maker whom I wanted to have on my channel since a long time. And finally, I have her here. And welcome to my channel, Say Something with Mads Faria. I'm really, really happy to have you. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I'm really happy to be here and finally be able to speak to you.
Yes. As I said, she's a change maker. She works for environmental cause. She is an artist. She has her own NGO. But why she's here, I read her article and I was so blown apart how well she's managing her studies and her social entrepreneurship. And she is really going to be a role model for all the youth who are listening to my channel. So let's begin. What does this beautiful name mean? And please introduce yourself in your own words about what you like, your passion, who you are.
Okay, so my name, Faria, it means happiness. And
Oh, wow.
it is something that I like to be, and I hope others around me are as well. And in my own words, I would say I love meeting new people. That's part of my huge part of my personality. I love meeting new people, making new connections. I really love music and art. I'm a creative person by nature. I like reading and writing, and all forms of communication are just something that I'm really inclined towards. And I would say I love traveling, learning new things, new skills, and always just growing myself in one way or another.
Tell me where you are now. What are you studying, and when did you come to Warwick, and why? What is it that you chose this university over somewhere else, about studying somewhere else?
So I'm at the University of Warwick. It's in Coventry in the UK. And I feel like I've been here since the last 6 months. And
Okay.
I chose this university because I'm studying a BSc in Health and Medical Sciences, like basically
Oh,
human sciences, which is my area of interest, like learning
okay.
more about health and benefiting people and working on
Okay.
populations and helping them improve this. So I feel like I'm passionate about health and I'm trying to make a difference in that with my NGO as well. Like that is one area we're planning on expanding to. And not a lot of universities offer this course. And Warwick is one of the most renowned universities in the UK and in the world, in fact. So I was really excited when I got my offer. And I think I just knew in my heart that I want to go to the UK. And if I'm going to the UK, I want to study something that I will actually enjoy studying. Because I
Okay.
feel like when you have those mainstream courses where it's like engineering or medicine, or I mean, those are great courses to study. They give you very stable jobs, a very good life, definitely. You could become a lawyer, you could even become like, you could become a lot of things if you go into the mainstream kind of professions. But for me, I'm a very dynamic person. Like I'm very interested in like project management, management consulting, like and like I was thinking in fact of starting like opening up my own startup at some point in my life. And I'm actually working towards it now. But I feel like I am the kind of person who wants a dynamic lifestyle. Like, I
Mm,
want to take risks. I want to face obstacles. I want to work under pressure so I can actually create something valuable out of it. Like, something
mm,
that's worth it, something that I can look back at and be like, that I
mm.
created this and I'm proud of what I've made. So,
Super.
for like because that's the kind of lifestyle I want, I decided to choose a course that let me like that's very interdisciplinary and it lets me explore all aspects of all the subjects that I'm interested in. So I study like
Mm.
psychology, economics, and epidemiology, and study medical sciences and like connect both of them for all my assignments and exams. So
Wow,
that's
lovely. You are a, a unique amalgamation. You are an artist also, and you are a science student. You are into health. So it's a beautiful blend of things. Like there's ample opportunity anywhere to lean on. Like you can blend this into that so seamlessly. Wow, lovely.
Because I constantly believe in like, so I'm also that kind of person who wakes up in the morning and I'm like, my alarm goes off and have the urge to just stop it and just go back to sleep. But then I read that on my wall. I always have some kind of quote, something in my mind, and I'm just like, that I can't do this. I can't go back to bed because today has to be a different day. Like, I have to do something new, try something new. If not every day, because some days get monotonous with lectures, studies, and everything,
Mm,
but
mm,
every week at least. Like
yeah,
every few days, I have to do something new. I have to develop myself in some way, meet someone new, talk about something
yeah.
new that I'm interested in.
So, okay,
So
when
I
we are in the conversation of what is there in the future, where do you see yourself 20 years from now?
so
Doing
20 years
what?
from now is it's a very difficult question because when I see myself like doing a degree right now that doesn't place me in like a direct mainstream job kind of job. Like I can choose my pathway and like it's like the whole world is open for me.
World is open.
So I'm thinking of staying here for
Okay.
to start off my career, to kickstart my career, and then eventually going back to India, definitely. And because all of my work, all of my social work and life is 100% there. So I'm
Yeah,
thinking
exactly.
that I will be in India, and most probably because that's like one of the aims of my life is being. I want to work in corporate. I definitely want to work in a top management position because I
Okay.
am that kind of person where
Mm.
I'm like a management enthusiast. I just love every job that involves like dealing with projects, dealing with people, dealing with risks and everything. So I feel like that would be a good fit for me. So I might pursue my MBA after my undergrad degree and work here
Mm.
for some time and then head back to India.
And so, for the audience, how I connected to Faria is when I read her article in Hindu. So, I read about her, and from there, I came to know about her project, Aika. First of all, the meaning, the name, and for the audience, though I know a little bit about it because I read about it. So, I would like to tell you how it all started, and it has a beautiful journey. So, just take us through that.
So, to start with, Aika has been derived from the term Ekka, which means unity. And Aika in
Okay.
some regional languages also means like flower petals. And the flower
Which
petal was
language
the,
is this? Which your
it's Haryanvi dialects because I'm from
ah
Haryana.
oh
Like,
acha oh nice oh lovely okay okay
I
uh-huh.
decided like the place where I grew up, I can at least use that in my
Oh,
work, reflect that in my work. So Aika is derived from Ikka and like regional dialects. And it also means flower petal, which was flowers were the first things that we painted, that we started with our first paintings. So I was basically in Jamshedpur, which is my hometown, where my parents are from. And I really wanted to practice paintings, wall paintings, because I'm an artist. I wanted to practice wall paintings, like experiment with different kinds of art. And I painted like a mehendi design on the wall of my nani on her house.
mm,
And
mm.
then from there, like there were a lot of domestic helpers in that area, definitely, and in our home as
Oh
well. Yeah, and one of them saw my work and she was like that do you want to like come to my house as well and do the same thing because I really like it. And I was like, I was really
oh
happy because I would just get more places to practice in. And
how old were you that time?
oh, I was I think 15.
Oh, okay. Mm.
Yeah, I was mature-ish. So I started doing that. I started painting in her house, and I think very quickly after that, it gained like traction in the local area. And a lot of
Oh
people wanted me to paint in their homes. And then there was a local like education center for women and girls. And they wanted me to paint in their home. And like their
wow lovely.
I started doing that. I started like painting some designs. I made one design on the environment and like basic tips on how you can improve the environment. And it was just like seeing like all those people being so excited because no one in like rural areas takes up creative ventures. Like people will
Mm,
come there and like they will talk about different stuff, but they don't leave any like proper mark. So like
mm.
something that people can look at every day, they pass by and they see it and they're like,
Okay.
"Ki, okay, this is one thing that I can keep in mind for the rest of the day." Like,
Mm,
I think we in our own lives like reduce, we don't give a lot of importance to the things we see every day, even though that
mm,
makes up so much in our mind and takes up a part of our subconscious mind. So
mm.
I decided to use that in all of my like artworks, everything that we did after that. Like it wasn't just for creative, like designing and stuff, but every artwork, it gives a
Oh, I had a
message.
theme. It had a theme of it talk about something, right?
It
Okay.
talks about a
Mm,
social issue. It talks about climate change, an issue that people need to be aware about, but they will not get sensitized to it unless they see it in their everyday lives. So if you pass by
mm.
a painting every day, I feel like I've noticed this in my own life. You pass by something every day, then one day you just stop and look at it and you decide to decipher what it means.
Yes. Yes,
Like
absolutely.
it stays in your mind and it helps like
Mm,
formulate your views on a lot of things. And plus,
mm,
while we are there in the process of making paintings, and I feel like the entire process is like quite long because making a painting requires a lot of time and effort. And during that time, the amount that we connect to people, the amount we're able to talk to them about the stuff that we're painting about, that
mm,
also like has changed a lot of perspectives. So
mm,
I think after I finished painting at my Nani's locality and everything. I started painting at my domestic helper's house and then at like all of her the people around her and her neighbors and everything. It was a lot of fun. And then I think after that, I was like, I don't want to leave this behind because there's something
mm.
that like wall painting, and I had to head back to Gurgaon with my family, and I was like, I need to bring this with me. Like I cannot leave this here. This
Okay.
happened in 2020, like January, I think. Hmm. And after that, I came back here, and the first thing that I did, like I think even on my way from there to coming here, I messaged like one of my friends, not exactly friends, but one of the people I'd worked with previously, on
Okay.
like an MUN, like the Model UN.
Ha, ha. Got it.
Uh,
Huh.
yeah, so we were both cartoonists, so I knew
Okay.
that she would be
Huh.
like good
Huh.
person to work with because she's an artist already. So I spoke to her and I told her about this. So it started off by being like a platform for artists to create social change and engage in social work.
Mm,
And that is still the like the core heart of our organization. Apart from being social work, it's like a platform for artists and using art for social change. So
mm,
that's what we started doing. We started creating more paintings, and subsequently we expanded into doing workshops, creative workshops. So started with art workshops, but then we started teaching different soft skills to students like time management, exam anxiety, and all the kinds of skills that kids don't usually learn in school. So we started right before the pandemic, and I think the passion was really high. So we did like at some point we were facing difficulties, but I think we eased into it very like quickly. We started doing online sessions, and
okay.
during COVID our team was very like active in helping people find leads for oxygen cylinders and beds. The second wave of
Okay.
the pandemic, that was really bad. That
Mm,
had like a huge impact on people, both mentally, physically, everything, health wise.
absolutely. Yeah. Mm,
Yeah, and
mm.
I think so at that time my own family had COVID. I had COVID as well. And my mother was really, really sick at that time. So I felt like this was one way that I could help people because I couldn't really do anything to improve her health, is that help other people and their families get better.
Because of that, I you also it's connected to the award, the Youth Changemaker Award, FEELL. So I know the acronym. Can you spell the whole thing and what is it about and why was what was the work on which you are chosen? ICA became suddenly very big, and how did it create all the buzz?
Yeah, so I think the acronym is Future Ethical and Egalitarian Leaders. And I'm
Hmm.
forgetting what the last L stands for.
Yeah,
But
so I think.
yeah, feel top 50 150 change makers was the title. And I feel like so it was, I think they recruited us through LinkedIn as well. Like
Okay.
they were going through people's profiles in India and seeing that who is like posting about their work, who is active in this field and utilizing, all the means that they have. And they kind of came across me and like a lot of other people, and we came together in an online conference and we had like separate award titles and everything announced. Yeah, so I think
Must
that
have
was
been
like
a big thing, right? It gave a boost to the whole journey, right? What does art and inclusivity actually mean to you? What is inclusivity to Faria? How do you think that we can really truly be an inclusive society?
I think when it comes to inclusivity and like just generally including people, it just means that we let go of the old barriers that have been formed in our minds because of society, and we just open our hearts and minds to every person. In India, you see a lot of differences between people from different financial backgrounds, different social backgrounds, and their financial background determines their social outcomes, and that in turn determines like whether they'll be discriminated against in jobs, in society, and everything. And when you're not an inclusive society, most of the population is at a disadvantage because there's
Mm,
only a few people who decide to be inclusive, who, because they
mm,
don't need to be included in anything. It's all the other
mm,
people that have like some sort of barrier in their lives who are not being
mm,
included by these few people who determine what society will be, and they're at the benefit at everything in everything, and the rest of the population is disadvantaged. So to be truly inclusive, first we need to, if we are like, for me personally, I am fortunate, I'm from a family that has given me a lot, given me everything. um I wasn't financially disadvantaged. I wasn't socially
mm,
not as
mm,
disadvantaged. And I feel
mm,
like that is something that I have to recognize first, is that I have been privileged. I have been able to break down barriers around me that I was facing. So the second thing I do, I opened up my heart and my mind. That is the second
mm,
thing you do. And you realize that you are nothing special. Everyone
mm.
around you is special. Everyone has something or the other to offer. So it's just,
Exactly. Beautiful.
you can't
Yes.
be
Mm,
selfish. So I think
mm,
the key to being inclusive is just letting go of your own biases and
mm,
letting, like, just becoming a community with the people around you. Like over here in the UK, in India, because we have like we don't have we have a lot of diversity, but here I think at university at Warwick is one of the most diverse universities, and we have people from all backgrounds, all countries in the world. And I've really like learned more about inclusivity since I've been here, because I've met people
mm,
from all kinds of backgrounds, all kinds of perspectives, and just the fact that I'm able to have good conversations, be friends with them, be close with them, and also
mm,
start discussions and conversations on important social topics and controversial
mm.
issues as well. It means that we together, like people from all backgrounds, can come together to create an inclusive society as long as we open our hearts and minds.
Absolutely. But here comes another question I wanted to ask is that yes, there you are open to a lot of culture, people are open to learning from each other, but there are some biases already there in the mind of people. Like within India, we know that state bias exists. Oh, you are from Bihar. Oh, you are from North. You are from Delhi. Whatever. It is up to us, up to your youth, and of course to us, that just as you said, that there is everybody has their own potential, whether they have, some people haven't got a chance and some people are lucky we have got a chance. Now I just want to ask you a question about you being in London now, you being in UK now, that what is it that Indianness, what you go over there, and when you talk about Indian culture, and I've seen your DP with the Indian tricolor dupatta, do people perceive you as somebody who is coming from an exotic country or dresses in a separate way? But of course, India is in UK is not something new, but still in a multicultural, multi-ethnic university like this, how do you propagate your own Indianness?
I feel like it's just the fact that I'm proud to be Indian, that I have I know there's a lot of things about my culture that I really like, but also the
Mm.
fact that I'm really open to listening to more people. Open to talking to them about my culture. So I think the most common thing that happens is you get stereotyped. Like people think,
Yes,
oh, you're
that's what
from
I was
India.
asking about. Yeah,
Yeah,
correct.
definitely. They'll be like, oh, you're from India. Oh, so you must like know this. Oh, so you must do this. You must be like this or that. I feel like it's just the fact that when someone comes up and says something to you, you just have to have like an appropriate answer for that. So you're able to
Yes.
tell them that, like, if someone asks me about my outfit, for example,
Yeah.
then I'll just be very upfront and honest about it because I have nothing to be ashamed of. Like I'm really proud of my culture. I'm proud of this. And wearing like a dupatta, even wearing like a scarf, covering my head. All of these are things that I'm proud of because they come from my culture and my beliefs. So I
Hmm.
feel like it is not really something that people might have internal biases because of stereotypes and they might not come up and say it to you. But it's just, I
Hmm.
think, your consistency in your beliefs that
Yes.
you can be like I don't like a person that upholds your values, like values and
Hmm.
beliefs strongly. And that just becomes an
Hmm.
example for everyone else to, just see that, okay, this person consistently does this or consistently does that. The stereotype here for Indians would be that all Indian students come here to study management or business, and they would want to go back and either start something of their own or join in on their family business or something. So that is, yeah, that is a
Yeah.
stereotype. And I feel like there's a lot of people who do want to do that. Like
Yeah.
despite being Indian or not, a lot of people want to go back and like just work, work, work and earn a lot of money. That becomes a name for them.
When you are a youth change maker, when you are doing something at a young age, you get a lot more attention of the media, of people around you, and they say, wow, at this young age you are doing. But soon you are going to pass that and you are going to be in your 20s, and your work wise, you'll go, and the focus from your work will move away. Okay. So that a new thing, when a youth does something, it is very, everybody wants to talk about it. But what happens when the limelight is shift from you, and then you still have to continue doing that irrespective? So that is, where does that passion come from, and how do you think that parents role in developing this, that okay, whatever it is, even if you are busy or somebody at home, some of your friends are taking care of that, your projects which you have started in India?
So, because I'm here right now, I have a team in India. I have like all of them are students. All of them are young people. So all of them are working towards like all the causes that we work towards in India. I have a team. I have like they
Wow.
worked for 2 years like before that. So they've been mentored, trained, and everything, and they know what to do exactly. So I
Okay.
get a bit sad sometimes that I don't really have an active role to play because they're handling it very well, but they still do it. And I feel like that will be my plan for the future, like just
Mm.
creating a system where it goes like students hand it over to students, like the
Ah,
coming generation, so
lovely.
it becomes like a
Mm.
proper system. And of course we will pass that age um where people talk about it a lot, and we will enter like phases of our lives where we'll be working and everything. But I feel like social work doesn't, it only involves giving your time sometimes.
Mm.
So on holidays,
Mm.
on weekends, I plan to volunteer all my life, like as much as I can. So as you
Mm.
develop your skills, as you start working and you become something, the more you learn, the more you grow in your professional work environment, the more you have to contribute to social work because you have more
Mm.
experience. You can talk about your work and just helping train these kids and helping them in
Mm.
education. You will just have more knowledge, more confidence, everything more. So while we're creating like a generation of students who are actively pursuing and working towards social work, we're also at the same time developing a proper network of professionals, everyone who worked with us, who will
Mm.
come back and share their
The
experiences
next
and use
generation
that
will take up.
experience.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah, so it's a proper pattern that we can utilize
Wow.
as long
Yes.
as we can. At ICA, we connect with different NGOs, and we also help provide them with volunteers, like for teaching, for any kinds of purposes. So we don't have our own center. So instead of investing
Ah,
all the money and everything, time and effort into opening a center, when there's
you
already
get
so
people.
many centers who lack a lot of volunteers and a lot of resources, we help existing centers fundraise, we help provide them with volunteers. And we're currently like, I think, helping a few NGOs and tutor their kids in like maths, English, and a few other subjects, I think science and social sciences.
Okay, so this amalgamation of a lot of NGOs working toward this is something unique. Good you brought it up, because many people must be hearing this and they want to join. It can be anywhere, right? It can be any part of India. It not be central and Gurgaon. So
Yeah, yeah.
what kind of role do a parent play to a social activist? Like, what is the conversation at home?
So I feel like my mother, While the role of parents, like when you're in your 11th and 12th, is mainly to tell you to study and take your studies seriously.
Yes.
My mother was a huge, I think she was my powerhouse, like my source of energy, because she was always she's the kind of person who would like be behind the growth of her children, like constantly. But you
Mm.
wouldn't read about her in books, in articles, or anything. But she is like the real hero of my story, I would say, because
Wow.
yeah, it's like just the fact that she has always inspired me, like in her own way, as she has constantly shown me all her life how to fight for myself, how to fight
Mm.
for social justice and equality. And she has like
Mm.
all this passion. And I feel like it's just how passionate both my parents are that kind of
Mm.
inspired me and like developed me into a passionate person as well. So
Mm.
that I think my
So,
mother's passion has been kind of passed on to me. ICA is registered under my mom's name. So
oh,
I'm ICA India Trust. She's the chairman, like
oh,
chairperson,
no.
and I'm just a trustee. So
Superb.
yeah,
Lovely.
all the credit.
Great, great. All right. Now, Faria, your now the questions is going to be something which will make you think. Okay, these are uh, okay. Let's start. First, I will ask you 3 to 4 questions. Let's see how much how what with what way you take these answers. The first one is you have 3 people whom you have to choose from anywhere around the world to be on your cabinet. You are the president of a country. Who would those 3 people be?
Hmm. So they have to be people I trust,
Okay.
because I feel like so when you the first thing that this does, like this question makes me think about, is like definitely famous people, famous politicians, people who have a lot of experience. But I think with like all of that, there's like a surface that we see and we don't really know like who they are. And I don't like want people that I can't trust on my cabinet. So
Okay.
I think these would all be people that I know. As the president of
Okay.
a country, that is definitely not something that people should be doing, is including
Okay.
people they know. But I would bring in my sister and my brother. I would definitely
Okay.
do that. The third person I would
Okay.
bring in would be a very close friend. But which
Okay.
friend, I'm not sure.
Another question comes up in this context is what is your biggest strength and what is your limitation?
Okay, my biggest strength should be communication.
Communication.
And
You said
it
you
should
like
be
connecting. Yeah.
Yeah, it should be reaching out to people. It should be management actually, because as I said, absolutely love it. Biggest weakness, I think, could be that one thing is that I have a lot of ideas, and
Mm.
I it takes me like a lot of time to decide
Mm.
on which idea I want to implement. Because for me,
Mm.
it's like I have a couple of ideas and I want to do everything, and it
Mm.
becomes like a lot to take on. So as I said, like the hustle culture is toxic. I used to be a huge workaholic, like working all the time, like studies and then constantly like as you said, like tuitions and stuff, and then my work, NGO and everything, and all of it like just it all came inside like one small person, and it kind of just like exploded at some point because I had
Mm.
like a lot of problems with I'd lost my appetite. I was always stressed, just always working in all of this stuff. But
Mm.
I think that was one of my huge
Mm.
like, biggest weaknesses. But I think that is one thing that just having a lot of ideas and having like a little bit of trouble like zeroing into what I want to do and
Mm.
implementing. The other thing that I'm really working on is time management, definitely, because like an uncertainty in how every day will go. And while I do
Mm.
like a little bit of uncertainty, what I don't
Mm.
like is that it takes me like some problems in like scheduling stuff, and like I keep forgetting some things that I have to do. So I use a
Mm.
lot of post-its now. Like I have
Okay.
a bunch of post-its all the time that have like a list of things that have to be done, that
Mm.
have to be bought and everything.
All
And
right.
yeah, I
Great.
think that's it.
Okay. Okay. My next question is what is it that one gift you have to give to all the people of the world? What would that one gift be?
It would be compassion, definitely.
Yes. Beautiful. Great answer. Okay. Coming to something which you said earlier that you love reading, and this is the section which I made personally for a lot of list of books which my young guests bring to the table. So, any book you remember now, or you have read, or now you're reading, you can suggest something. Any podcast or anything else which you want to share with us.
Okay, so for books that I think really had an impact on me, it was when I was like a bit younger and I was like exploring all these kinds of genres. And there is a book called Barking Up the Wrong Tree by Eric
Okay,
Barker. Yeah, it's
okay.
about I used to find it very funny because barking up the wrong tree and his last name is Barker. That's why I picked up the book. But then I saw like the whole thing, it was about like all the obstacles that you might face. And
Oh,
like success isn't like doesn't come to you directly. Like you have to work towards it. But you will there are a lot of like myths about success that he busts in that book. So I really like
mm,
that. And there is Freakonomics. I think a lot of people do know about it. And there's Discover Your Inner Economist. Like all these, both these books, they help you see life from an economic perspective, and it is one of the most wonderful perspectives to have. Like if you're a logical person, or if you're just like not a logical person, but you want to see like other people's perspectives, it's a very interesting read. Both of them are interesting reads.
can you name that again? The
Discover Your Inner Economist and Free Economics.
uh, one more book you are suggesting, something which you are reading right now.
So it's here. Is Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell. He has a lot of excellent books about success that I really think people should explore more and start reading. My main genres have been help and success in terms of books, because the kind of stories they tell and the way that they tell it, that hey, I failed a lot in life, but this is what I learned, and these are mistakes that you can avoid making. So I really
Mm,
like that. Also,
mm.
autobiographies. Like people,
Autobiographies is my favorite genre too. Each
it's
one.
really
But so we are at the end of the talk show, and here is one section where you can ask me any question you want to ask, and let's see what it's going to be.
okay. I think one thing I would need to know, because I really am interested in knowing about different people's lives and this aspect, is what is the biggest obstacle that you faced in your opinion? That like you thought that everything is going to change or end, but it just gave you a completely different outcome.
Obstacle. See, if I thought about my college days, it was always like, sometimes they say reading books is good, but I think I lost focus because I was so much into reading Mills and Boons, and that at that age I should have focused more on my education, on my cracking medical. That was a big setback, that I could have done a lot more than that. But on the hindsight, I think um, that phase when you don't get something which you want in life, yes, it is very defeating, self-defeating, but instantly there was never any regret that I've not done anything wrong or I'm less than anybody. It's life is a journey. I've taken each step as it comes. But the only thing I would say is something which has hit me is the color of my passport. That okay, it does affect when you are abroad, when you are somewhere. Oh, you are Indian, or you have an Indian passport. It doesn't have a that, it doesn't carry that weightage when you are trying for a job here in schools. If you are a native English speaker, or if you have a different color passport, you are most welcome, more welcome than Indian passport holder. I think that's a complete nonsense and a bias which I think I
Yeah,
need. I talk about this everywhere at some point or other. Yeah.
yeah,
So
that
that
makes a lot of sense
that's
actually.
hurt. That one part has hurt me. Never anything else. But this coming out of India, when you realize this, you India, you are blessed. I think some other
Also, it
we
depends
realize
on
it.
it also depends on where you're going in the world, because
Yeah.
some people will definitely be more biased than people. Like here in the UK, I don't think I faced like a huge obstacle because of my Indian passport. But when it comes to like traveling within Europe, and where I'll have
Mm,
to like apply for a visa for everywhere, and all my friends
mm,
who are British citizens, they can, and or just European citizens, they can travel
mm.
anywhere in the EU without a visa. So it's just like an extra obstacle for
Yeah.
me. I don't think it's fair, but it's just it's not
Yeah.
our fault.
Correct. Why is it? Why do you have to have so many rules for Indian? This passport doesn't work there. This passport doesn't work here. Come on. So this is what is inclusivity we talk about. Every passport color should be
On an
given equal.
international basis, like it's not
Absolutely.
what we're dealing with, but it's just an outcome of
It's
thing.
just
Just
an
every
outcome.
day has to go through it.
Actually. Yeah. True. True. Thank you so much, Faria. I hope you had a good time as much as I enjoyed this interview. What will be your parting words?
My parting words would be, it should be that actually. Stories don't tell or make themselves. So you have to
Mm,
get out there every day and make
mm,
something of your life, make something of your day, and just
mm,
keep yourself happy.
mm. Thank you so much. And for those who are listening and who are tuning into my channel, I'm so happy that you are subscribing to it and liking what I'm bringing every week. And please subscribe to my channel and like and leave a comment on all the interviews. We get youth every week on my channel to speak about topics which is close to them, which is a global issue, anything and everything. And this is the channel for youth. And as I end my channel with that one line, I will say it again. You have only one earth. Do a little bit every day to make it better. A small step will count a lot. Thank you so much. See you again next week and bye bye.